Hello again. A couple lessons ago, we were talking about some verbs that might be a little tricky. Perhaps you remember, we were talking about some verbs that could be action verbs or being verbs. Now remember, verbs are really important in sentences. We can't make sentences without these special words, these verbs. And they have generally one of two really important jobs. One of the jobs is to show action, to show what a subject is doing. Another one of the jobs of verbs is to show being, which is different than showing action. If you are using a verb that is showing being, then the subject, the noun, that is the main idea of the sentence, isn't actually doing anything. Instead, you are just getting more information about that subject. So we use being type verbs to give more information about a subject. And last time we talked about this, I showed you 5 verbs that can be a little tricky. They can act like either one. And these 5 verbs were related to your 5 senses. I gave you one for each sense. We talked about look, we talked about sound, we talked about smell, we talked about taste, and we talked about touch. All of these verbs, we talked about feel, not touch. Touch is generally just active. I don't say it touches soft. That's strange, but I could say it feels soft. Okay? And maybe later on we'll talk about how some specific sense verbs are only active, are only action verbs. But these are the 5 verbs that could be both. Okay? They could be action, they could be being. But these 5 verbs are not alone. There are other verbs out there. Some of them may only be being type verbs, like this one. To seem means to look like or to appear, okay? But it's only used as a being verb. You're only going to see this usually followed by some sort of adjective idea that is going to connect the subject to the idea that follows. So maybe it seems like I'm a little crazy at times, but I'm not. I'm sane. I am sound-minded. I just act like a little bit of a clown in front of a camera to keep you interested. Do you know how hard it is to keep people interested in videos? It's really... Sorry, I got a little carried away. But seem is generally always going to be like a be verb. Okay? And become, you can see the word be is right here. This is another word that is usually going to be a be verb. But this one, it actually can be used as an action. Some things can become other things. But that's not... What you need to know is how to tell the difference. So remember that action verbs are subjects doing things. Being verbs are connecting subjects to other ideas. And all of these other words on the board are examples that can be both. I can appear out of nowhere. That's an action. Or you might really think I appear to be crazy. But we already talked about that, so stop bringing it up. And I can grow as an action. Hopefully you are growing in your knowledge of English grammar right now. Or I could say the tree grows tall. And that is an idea connecting an adjective to the tree. So it can act like a be verb. I can also say, this video is turning long, and I'm describing the video, okay? Or I can turn in a complete circle. Stay. I can stay. You can stay. We can stay as an action. Or maybe not. Maybe I stay crazy. Why do you keep bringing that up? I think it's time we review.
Action or being 2. Why are verbs important in sentences? We can't make sentences without verbs. What are the 2 functions of verbs? One function of verbs is to show action, and another function is to show a state of being. What are 5 verbs that can be used as both action and being verbs? Look, sound, smell, taste, and feel. What is the verb to seem generally used as? It is generally used as a being verb. How can you tell the difference between action and being verbs? Action verbs are subjects doing things. Being verbs are connecting subjects to other ideas. What are some other examples of verbs that can be both action and being verbs? Appear, grow, turn, stay, prove.